In this video, we'll go over the Sony ZV-1 specs and review what are the best and worst features of the camera. Let's start off with the basic specifications. Connections include a multi-interface shoe, standard 3.5mm microphone jack, a multi-micro USB port, and a HDMI micro jack. The ZV-1 has a touchscreen. The touchscreen can do things like focus and take a picture by touch, but you can't use it for selecting menu items. But that seems to apply to all Sony cameras and not just this one. Okay, now if you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're thinking about purchasing the Sony ZV-1. Let me just cut to the chase. Here's my recommendation. If you want to use the ZV-1 to make full-length cinematic movies, this is not the camera for you. If you're an amateur or pro photographer and want to use the ZV-1 primarily for pictures, then the ZV-1 is not for you. There's a reason that the ZV-1 is marketed toward vloggers. If you're a vlogger, then this is absolutely the camera for you. So let me start off with the negatives of the ZV-1, then I'll go over the positives and explain the reasoning for my prior recommendation. So, the bad stuff. The first thing you'll notice about the ZV-1 is that it's really small and lightweight. I mean, look at this picture from DP Review. The camera looks like a mini toy camera in that person's hands. The camera's dimensions are 4¼ inch by 2 3/8 inch by 1 3/4 inch. With the battery and memory card included, the weight of the camera is approximately 10.4 ounces. While this is good for portability, it also means small buttons. Now I have some pretty small hands and even I had a hard time pressing the buttons, primarily the menu and control wheel buttons. But for simple vlog videos, you probably will primarily press the big easy to push record button, so this negative shouldn't concern you. Secondly, I also found it too easy to accidentally bump the control wheel, which adjusts settings. Now this can be easily overcome by purchasing an optional shooting grip. Sony offers a wireless shooting grip, which I'll link to in the description. The grip attaches to the bottom of the camera and it's like a mini tripod you hold to offer you better shooting angles. The grip provides you with easy to access buttons which control the camera, so now if you're holding the grip, your hands aren't anywhere near the control wheel to accidentally bump. Problem solved. Another thing I didn't like is it's hard to shoot manually since shutter and aperture adjustments both use the control wheel. Again, as a vlogger, you probably wouldn't care too much about this since one of the automatic modes will do just fine for you. And those were the main things I could find bad about it. However, I only rented and used the ZV-1 for a few days, so to give you a more complete picture, I wanted to share some of the negative things people had to say about the ZV-1 in the Amazon reviews. So first of all, many of the 1-star reviews didn't have to do with the camera itself. For example, this review was complaining about being shipped a used camera instead of a new camera. I have heard of other stories, such as this Peter Pixel article, in which users have received bricks instead of their camera. But personally, I've never had anything like this happen to me. And to be safe, if you're purchasing from Amazon, make sure to buy the items that say shipped and sold from Amazon. Try to avoid the third-party sellers that may offer cheaper prices but give you a brick or used camera. And Amazon has great customer service, so I wouldn't hesitate to purchase from Amazon, even with these horror stories. Okay, so the next common thing people didn't like is the battery life and that the camera doesn't come with a charger. As far as not coming with a charger, it is what it is. That seems to be what product manufacturers are doing nowadays. The ZV-1 does come with a charging cable though. The charging cable terminates in a standard USB connection, which I'm sure most people have on their computer, or have another adapter to charge via the wall outlet from other products that they might have. Otherwise, you can purchase a battery charger. There are off-brand ones that are super cheap, but they might not be worth the risk. These third-party brands might not have as high safety standards as the Sony battery chargers, which could lead to a fire hazard. So you might want to stick to the official Sony battery chargers, like this one. What's great about this Sony battery charger is that if you have different Sony camera models, you might be able to charge those batteries in this charger as well, as it takes different types of batteries. So as far as battery life, the ZV-1 camera manual says the battery should last for approximately 45 to 75 minutes of video recording on a full charge. This is depending on what the camera operator is doing. So for example, if you're zooming and continuously starting and stopping the video recording, that will drain your battery faster than just a static continuous movie recording. If you're primarily recording your vlog at home, then this isn't too big of a problem. The camera can operate while plugged into the charging cable and power, so essentially you'd have unlimited battery life while recording this way. But if you're on the go, then unfortunately you'll just have to purchase spare batteries. The genuine Sony batteries go for about $35. Another common complaint in the Amazon reviews is that the camera can't record for long periods because it overheats and shuts down. For these, I suspect the reviewers aren't aware of the auto power off temperature feature on the camera. The auto power off temperature feature must be set to high in order to achieve longer recording times. With high frame rate shootings, continuous recording maxes out at about 5 minutes when auto power off temperature is set to standard. If auto power off temp is set to high, then continuous recording time can exceed more than 5 minutes. Now the following are some things to keep in mind that are perfectly valid and might be worth considering when deciding on purchasing the ZV-1. The first thing is that the tripod mount is integrated with the memory card and battery cover. So besides grips and tripods, a lot of accessories such as advanced camera straps make use of the mount. So there may be a good chance that something is attached to your tripod mount and would need to be removed every single time you need to replace your card or battery. Another main complaint for the ZV-1 is the image stabilization options. The image stabilization is called steady shot. So for videos, the Sony ZV-1 offers 3 options: off, standard, and active. So this reviewer pretty much sums up the video stabilization performance of the camera. No, the stabilization is not the best. On standard, it's not great. On active, it's better but crops in. This is why I say for certain types of vlogging, like on a tripod or talking head video, it's fine. If you're expecting to walk around and talk to yourself, you'll want to invest in a gimbal. So here, Michael Turner provides a good demonstration of the ZV-1 image stabilization in each of the 3 options. I've linked to his full video in the description below. As you can see with the active stabilization, the crop is very tight and can easily cut off the top of your head. So if you'll be walking around and filming yourself, a gimbal or selfie stick or grip, as mentioned prior, can help to increase the distance from you and the camera to get more of the background in the picture. Alright, so let's stop being so negative and focus on the positive. To me, these following features make the ZV-1 stand out. Of course, for vloggers, the big one is going to be the product showcase feature. So for example, this was shot on an iPhone. As you can see, in order to focus on the item in front, I have to put a hand in back of the product so that the camera stops autofocusing on my face. Whereas with the ZV-1, the product showcase feature will automatically focus on whatever is closest to the camera. So you can see when I bring the flowers up close to the camera to show finer details, the Sony ZV-1 smoothly adjusts focus and you can see the details up close. So that's a good feature to do product reviews with. Another feature that's great for vlogging is the soft skin feature, which subtly smooths out facial complexions. So here's an example of the soft skin effect applied and not applied. There's also an additional beauty effect that can be applied to help you touch up the appearance of people. You can do things like skin toning, skin smoothing, remove skin oil shine, widen eyes, and whiten teeth, all in camera. The ZV-1 also offers a background defocus function to blur the background. So ordinarily, to create a blurred background, you need to know about the camera's aperture settings and how the aperture affects the blur. But with the ZV-1, you can totally ignore what I just said because you don't need to worry about aperture settings with the defocus function. Instead, you just press the button and the amount of background blur is adjusted. Super simple. Next feature I like is dual record. With dual record, you can take pictures while recording videos. And sure, iPhones can do it, but it's surprisingly hard to find this feature on mirrorless and DSLR cameras. What's even cooler is the ZV-1 can automatically take a picture while recording. So if the camera thinks there's something worth keeping, like everyone's smiling at the camera, it'll automatically take a picture. And if the camera missed, what's awesome is that you can always extract the still image from the movie file. It might be a lesser quality than if you took a picture, but still better than missing out on a possible once-in-a-lifetime moment. So now, you don't get a charger, but you do get a dead cat, which I definitely prefer more. Okay, for those of you who just did a double take, the film industry refers to fuzzy windscreens as dead cats. Dead cats are designed to help shield audio from wind noise and plosive sounds, which are the puh sounds that can blow out audio. And finally, I'll just mention some other cool features that are awesome about the ZV-1. There's a smile detection feature that will take a picture when it detects a smile. So you can see here there's a graph on the left hand side that detects the amount of smile the subject is giving. So when it hits a certain threshold that you set, the camera will automatically take a picture. How cool is that? There's also a high frame rate mode that lets you shoot at super high frame rates in order to produce smooth slow motion videos. There's also a built-in ND filter which can help you to take long exposure pictures in bright conditions. The camera can also auto crop photos, and there's a motion shot video feature. This feature allows you to play back a video as if it were a stacked series of photos. The camera will track a subject's motion and overlay each frame to show a sequence of images. For example, this is just a quick motion shot of a car moving. Unfortunately, you can't save this image, which seems kind of odd. So as a vlogger, you're an expert in makeup, lifestyle, crafts, building hamster mazes, blowing stuff up, I don't know, whatever it is that your vlog is about. You may not necessarily be an expert in cameras, and who has time to learn about the intricacies of photography and videography? You just want to push record and start producing great content with quality video. Although if you do want to learn more about photography and videography, please consider subscribing to my channel because I'm going to take you on my journey of learning photography and videography techniques and tricks. But anyway, the highlight of this camera is the ease of use. You really don't need to know technical things like which aperture to choose, which ISO or shutter speed. It pretty much does everything for you. So I hope this video helped you in your research on the Sony ZV-1. Thanks for watching.